planet is Uranus.
So what's going on? Canada changed the rules this week or has a new law, and I don't really have all the specifics. I'd love to pull it up.
Weighing more than half a pound up to 77 pounds are now banned from operating within 5.6 miles of any airport, as well as any other places where aircraft operate. So seaplane bases, heliports, they must stay within 295 feet of the ground and keep at least 246 feet from buildings.
And the reason all the feet numbers are weird is because I'm sure it's all in metric in their laws, so these are conversions.
75 meters.
So yeah, they're probably round numbers. So, all right, so just to review, and this is effective immediately. In Canada now, all right, so in the U.S., you're not supposed to fly within 5 miles of an airport, but there's a lot of gray area. You can inform a control tower of a smaller airport if you're going to do it. It depends on the size of the airport. If the airport doesn't have a control tower, you're kind of like, okay. Helipads are included, but again, you can call them or not call them. It's very kind of... And the thing is, even if you break one of these rules, the only real governing body to come after would be the FAA, and it would be like this long time for them to probably investigate it, and maybe they would hit you with a fine, but likelihood they're probably not going to know what you did. In Canada, these rules were kind of in effect, but the key change in Canada...
There was no punishment.
It was kind of like in the US, like, don't do it, but like, who's going to know? The police on the street don't even know the drone rules typically. They don't know how to write you a fine. What are they going to do? In Canada now, they give authority to the Royal Canadian Mounted Police and one more police body to directly fine people who are performing illegal drug activities.
$2,250.
Yeah. And
any rule broken.
So if I'm a Mountie, which is like basically like state police here, right? Or they're all over the place. If I'm like a Mountie and I see a guy flying a drone over 250 grams, which is any DJI drone, but none of the drones I have here on purpose. And I know that we're within 5 miles of, Mark, not just an airport, a helipad, a sea landing launch place, which unless you're in the middle of nowhere, there's something usually within 5 miles of you, or you better really find that spot on your air map. But, in all likelihood, most of the places people are flying are probably at least within 5 miles of a helipad unless you live out in the country.
You can't fly anywhere near forest fires or anywhere near where a first responder emergency location would be.
Yeah.
So if there's a car accident and there's first responders going, you can't fly anywhere near that car accident.
Yeah. And I don't know how I feel about this because I feel like I will tell you what I like. I like that the drone regulations are clear. Look, they seem to be restrictive, but it's like you cannot do this, period. And if you do, this is what's going to happen. So you know what? You never are going to say to yourself, oh man, I can fly here, but there's like a little small helipad over there, but it's okay. But you still feel kind of weird that you might interfere with an aircraft. This is like, no, you just don't do it because there's too high a risk and it's clearly illegal and enforceable. So I like that. Do it. If you're going to make rules, just make them. Put them on paper, put them black and white, tell them that the cops, they can enforce them, tell the police what they are. Fine. And then I'll have to figure out a way to follow them. What I don't like is not 100% knowing if what I'm doing is okay or not.
Yeah, that's all we're looking for.
Right.
We're looking for a something set in stone so that we can find our spots, fly our shit without anybody bothering us. Because you see all that stuff online where people don't know what's going on.
And if the rules are strict in like, look, there's very firm drone laws. You can't do this. But then like, okay, as long as I'm following those laws, then I'm good. Because it's not like people have this impression that the drone laws aren't set in stone or firm enough that they're very gray. It's like, yes, you definitely can't do this. On the flip of that means now I definitely can do this. So as long as I'm doing this,
leave me alone.
I'm good.
Yeah.
And it's like the laws are very clear. It's not like maybe or shouldn't. I like and what's the word I'm looking for? How specific the law is. That being said, as a drone owner in Canada, you lost 100 feet of altitude. You probably lost places you used to fly in all the time that you probably can't. But look, that's what it is. I know most people probably aren't happy in Canada who own a DJI drone or any other kind of drone over 250 grams. But I do applaud Canada for attempting to be more clear on the rules and enforcing them.
Yeah. Well, we know eventually this is going to get to the point where everybody's going to have to get involved in this. And there's going to have to be some type of regulation set in stone. And right now, it might not be perfect, right? Maybe sometime down the line, Canada will be like, okay, well, maybe we were a little too harsh on that. Give them back their 100 feet of altitude. I don't think it matters, but what we want is just something to be there so that We can grab our group of friends. We can go record what we're going to record in an area where we know we're not going to be bothered. And that's all.
There's two issues I think at play in this debate. One is privacy concerns and one is safety concerns, and safety including property damage concerns. And I understand wholeheartedly safety concern.
Yeah.
And I think make every reasonable rule and regulation that you can possibly make about safety
To make it safe.
To make it safe. The funny thing is, if you ask like a typical American who's not familiar or educated about drone operation, their chief concern is going to be privacy, which is totally ridiculous in my opinion. There are so many cameras out there that can be accessed to watch you all the time, from everybody just filming you on the street with their cell phone to the fact that, and I just watched Snowden by Oliver Stone, you know the movie?
You were telling me about it earlier.
Any good?
Yeah, it's really good. You should watch it. I thought it would kind of be too boring.
Bless you.
It's really good. If you like, especially if you like Oliver Stone. Nick Cage is in it too. Yeah. At one point, at least, so Snowden in these movies claim is, government could turn on my webcam and look. I wouldn't even know.
Yeah. That's very true.
You're worried about, and when you hear this story that, and I don't even believe it's true, about, oh, my daughter's sunbathing in my backyard and the drone is spying on them. You know what? Like, I'm sure somebody somewhere is way more likely in a bunker to have seen video from your unactivated cell phone camera that you didn't even know was on, or your daughter's computer webcam, or a hacker or the government official looked at your daughter getting changed. Don't be so worried about this. Maybe once in a blue moon, somebody flies a camera over your house at 300 feet.
Yeah.
So the privacy concern, I think, is just people don't understand what quadcopters are actually being used for. Yes, of course I can take my drone and try to look in your fucking window if I want to, but I can do that with a telephoto lens from half a mile away. I can do that 100 other ways that don't make as much noise. It's not believe me, like the pedophiles out there are like, it's not the best way for them to look at your daughter. I promise you that they have some other method that they're using, which is way more discreet than flying a drone. Yes, in your head, like you have this idea of the pedophile looking at your daughter in the backyard from the camera in the sky.
Unless the drone is like hovering and physically showing that it's looking at you, like 9 times out of 10, they're just probably flying by and not even looking at you. So I don't understand that whole aspect of it.
I think that's
it's a little
paranoia.
ridiculous. Yeah,
paranoia, especially considering all the other avenues which people or somewhere have access to either see us or look at us or see what we're doing online. Like, of all the privacy concerns in the world I have, Mark, the last one is that somebody might fly a Phantom over my house while I'm in my backyard.